刀か。年派もいかぬ小僧の手に我が折より幼し。我が我が父を討ち取りし時よりも。参れ、刀さばきを見せてみよう。
To Yomi, an indie game with not a whole lot of buzz around it, but from what I've seen leading up to the game's release, I was pretty interested in the game. Additionally, the game was being published by Devolver Digital, who are definitely one of my favorite indie developers and publishers. But after playing the game, what do I think? Well, let's get into it. Hi guys, DPX here. Welcome back to another game review. Today, I'm reviewing To Yomi. Now, before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to hit the bell, and leave a comment, or I will snap your goddamn neck. The core gameplay of To Yomi is pretty solid at first. Yeah, sorry, I think you might already know how this review is gonna go. To Yomi has an interesting combat system, I'll give it that, but the controls honestly suck ass. The reason I say it wasn't so bad at the start of the game is because, well, as the game progresses, of course, so too does the challenge of the game, so as the game gets more and more challenging, you start to realize more and more how bad the controls are. For one, you press X, or I played on PS5, so it's probably A if you're on Xbox. But I press X or A to turn around. No game should ever control like that. You also have the ability to parry attacks, and what is cool is that sometimes you can even do that with attacks from behind you, and you turn around, but only sometimes. So what'll happen a lot is you end up performing a pretty sick combo, only for it to not hit anyone. Not to mention, the parrying in general just doesn't even seem right. And all the controls, all your inputs don't really add up properly, I feel. And the controls even feel a little delayed at times. Or at least it wouldn't be so apparent if there weren't parts of the game where you fight off like 5 enemies at a time. I know I started this review pretty negative, but if the game doesn't control well, that's not good. In To Yomi, we follow Hiroki during his quest for revenge after his sensei gets, that's all I'll get into, really. And while it is more or less a simple revenge story, it was a fairly entertaining one, and I was actually quite invested in Hiroki's journey. Sure, it did get a little stale at a certain point, but it's fine as it is. And in many reviews, if you've seen, you might have heard some comparisons to Akira Toriyama, and yeah, they are definitely apparent here. And yeah, the story's pretty cool. I don't have a lot to say about it though. This is the other stuff segment, where I touch on other stuff worth mentioning, but not too much to say on. For one, I think one thing that stands out about this game to most people is the visual style, and my god, it is beautiful. It is simple, and I'm not gonna act like this is the first time I've ever seen anything with this art style before, but the game almost feels cinematic at times, and some of the cutscenes even look like a foreign indie film. And I think that is the feel they wanted to go for, so they absolutely succeeded in that regard. On top of that, the soundtrack, while nothing too crazy, is fairly decent and fits well with the game. One thing I kind of liked, but got pretty annoying at times, is the camera angles though. When you're not fighting enemies, the camera is usually at a fixed angle, so often you'll end up not even being able to see where you are, and with an art style like this where everything is black and white, it can get even harder to see where you are. On top of that, something I forgot to mention for the controls, as I guess it kind of fits there, but it's more of a mechanic in the game that's stupid, is you have a health bar and a stamina bar. You're probably thinking that the stamina bar is for running and stuff, and while you wouldn't be wrong, the stamina bar drains whenever you block attacks meaning you'll often be fighting an enemy who you are about to kill, but then you can't fucking do anything until the stamina bar refills, in which by that point, you're already dead. Also, while not absolutely buggy or glitchy by any means, I barely encountered any bugs or glitches. There was this one that happened, I encountered this one twice, where no enemy was able to do any damage to me, which sounds awesome, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't pull out my sword, I couldn't pull out my shurikens. There's not even a jump button in the game in general, so I couldn't like jump around them and proceed. I had to go back to the last checkpoint. That is a game-breaking bug. I know I'm making Trek to Yomi seem like a horrible game, and it's not, but it did kind of disappoint me. Trek to Yomi, I felt, had the potential to be a sleeper hit of the year, and while the story is interesting and the game is visually stunning, the controls along with the monotony of the gameplay in general makes this game feel honestly longer than it really is. This game is like 3 to 4 hours long, but I got bored a lot, so that's probably why this review is going up a lot later than it normally would have, and I had a lot of other personal stuff to deal with, but back on topic. I feel like there is a good game somewhere here though. Trek to Yomi has a lot going for it, and I know everything I complained about boils down to the controls being bad, but if you can't have fun controlling the game, how fun can the game really be? The story and visuals can only get you so far. That being said, I give Trek to Yomi a 5.5 out of 10. So yeah, that was my review for Trek to Yomi. It's not like this game is overpriced. I think for the length of this game, it is definitely at a perfect price of $20. But yeah, maybe it's on Game Pass. So if you're curious and you got Game Pass, go buy it on there. Or get it for free. You don't buy it on Game Pass. But yeah, anyways, Trek to Yomi, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you like the game? Do you not like the game? Do you have the game? Do you not have the game? And if you don't have the game, do you want the game? Do you not want the game? Anything about the game, let me know down below. Anyways, be sure to subscribe or I will snap your fucking neck. Bye, guys!